Hey Rumshak, how are y'all doing tonight? Let me try again. Hey Rumshak, how's everyone doing tonight? That's a lot better. I'm actually, because I can't sing and like the last two performances were so goddamn good. That's what I have to do. I've got to do a comedy act because that's all I can do. Yeah, so let me start. My name's Ray, like to say Ray of Sunshine, but I'm the only one that says Ray of Sunshine, and no one else seems to agree. I am of Indian descent, so I'm a second generation Indian immigrant, and I had a lot of sort of interesting things happen to me throughout my life so far. I grew up in the USA, and my dad he didn't speak proper English. He spoke in a language I would just call Panglish, so it was like sort of a hybrid between English and Punjabi, and he got confused, got me confused, got everyone confused. So I mean, I'll just teach you a wee bit of Panglish right now, because everyone can learn Panglish. One word everyone can do in Panglish really easy. If you repeat after me, the word bottom. So 3, 2, 1, bottom. Yep. Another one he always did really well when he got angry. It was like, God damn it! So 3, 2, 1. God damn it! That's good. And there's another one he didn't quite do, but I heard, from uncles always, the dirty Indian uncles, they would say words like, are you doing lots of master debaters? Master the debaters, don't be doing master debaters. So when I say what is master debaters, 3, 2, 1. Master debaters. So what basically happened to me, the confusion first started, I was helping my dad in the house, and he was holding cereal bowls, and I've never looked at cereal bowls the same after what happened. He told me, he said, grab the balls. The balls isn't the balls, but he would call cereal bowls balls. So I went over, I grabbed them, that was fine, and I adapted that in my head. It was Texas I grew up in. So I'm in Texas, and I'm in a school in a place called Arlington. It sort of sits between Dallas and Fort Worth. And I'm in school, and I'm holding bowls for the teacher. She was, can't remember why, but I was holding the bowls. And I went up to my friend, because they're about to fall. The other word my dad would use would be fragile instead of fragile. So all I was shouting, they were about to fall, and I looked over to my friend, his name is Jeremy Martin. I said, grab my fragile balls! Grab my fragile balls! And at that moment, he actually went running up to me, and he grabbed my balls, and he squeezed. I mean, he really squeezed, and he squeezed my balls so tight that one of them actually got lodged up. And it was like so sore. I can see his face now still, that face of both concentration, and I think he was sort of enjoyment. He was enjoying himself as he gave me a lot of pain. So I got sent to the principal's office, and the principal called my dad into the school. So my dad got stopped by the security guard because my dad was a Sikh. So Sikhs, they wear turbans and they have beards, and he was stopped by the security guard. The security guard was like a big guy, and all he's saying is, y'all Arab? Y'all Arab? What y'all doing here? What y'all doing here in this country? And my dad just like, I'm just here to see my son. My son is in trouble, I'm just here to see my son. And then after he goes to my dad, and my dad told me the story. He said to my dad, and this is 1980s, mid-80s USA, and he said to my dad, y'all got any explosive devices on you? Any explosive devices? My dad got so angry, he goes, the biggest explosive device is in my pant. He didn't say pants. The biggest explosive device is in my pants. So at that moment, all insanity broke loose, as then my dad stormed into the principal's office, and the principal said to my dad, he said, Mr. Colai, I got some really, really bad news for you, Mr. Colai. Your son is a homosexual. Remember, this is mid-80s USA, mid-80s Texas. And my dad looked at him, and my dad says, I don't understand. What are you saying? What are you saying? And he looked at my dad and said, your son, I think your son is gay. He goes, my son can't be gay. And he looked at me and he says, Ray, you the gays? You're the gays? Because my dad wouldn't, it was Panglish, so he's saying, are you the gays? He made up plurs. You the gays? And at that moment, he got very angry. And he got on his knees and he's banging his head, and he's basically swearing at me in proper Punjabi now saying banchod, madachod, goody chod, and he was basically calling me a motherfucker and a sister fucker. So that was similarities that I guess Texas had with India, because the Indian swear words were all about fucking your sister and your mother, and in deep south in Texas, I think they did that anyways, because I was a deep south redneck Texas. So after that, my dad was very angry, and at that moment, he also grabbed my balls, I think just out of total anger, and he didn't know what was going on, he was confused. And remember I said I had one ball sort of lodged up, and the second ball then got lodged up, and then I had both balls lodged up, and it was a lot of pain. And I think they're still lodged up. They're not really. So I was gonna say, and that, and then after that, for the years on, for the next 10 years, I managed to make a lot of females very wet, but not in the way you would think, more like they cry because of the two balls not functioning, being lodged up there. And so the only way they could be used, the only way they could ever be used is maybe 4 or 5 hours before I needed to, ever do the business when I grew up, is I'd have to pull one down and it would fill up. It would just start filling up, and that was the only way. And I could never do that under pressure. So, I'm just making all that up about the balls being lodged up, by the way. So then what happened is, I remember I was invited to a friend's house, and it's from Texas again, and it was before we were going to move to Glasgow. I was 14 by then, and I remember the mother saying to me, "Y'all moving to Scotland? Y'all moving to Scotland?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm moving to Scotland. Where are you moving to? I'm moving to Glasgow. Glasgow? She's like, Glasgow? Is that near Edinburgh? I'm like, no, I think they're, maybe an hour away in a car. I think that's what I've been told. No, but I know someone called Bob in Edinburgh. Do y'all know him? I'm like, how would I know Bob? They got this idea that, I would know some Bob in Edinburgh, just because, that's what Americans think. But the next thing, and then I remember the father of my friend, he then asked me, he said, I hear they wear dresses in Scotland. They wear dresses. No, I think they're kilts. No, they're dresses. And I looked at them, and I said, yeah, you guys like to dress up as well, especially in your KKK hoods and your Ku Klux Klan outfits, and that's, again, a similarity, people dressing up, but they wore KKK outfits. My first experience moving to Glasgow is I had to go to a Sikh temple. And my dad said, if you go to Sikh temple and pray a lot to God, the gay believe you. The gays will get out of you, because you're having people grab your balls in Texas. I'm like, okay. So moved to Texas and, moved to Glasgow, go to Sikh temple for the first time, and there's this man, an old man, just staring at me, and I'll never forget. He's just staring at me, he's walking towards me, and he looks really scary. And all I hear is, because I don't understand a word he's saying, because he's speaking Punjabi, and I don't know any Punjabi. And I was forced to wear a turban and a beard, and he got really angry at me, and he kept shouting and screaming, and he says, "You don't know Punjabi? How can you not know Punjabi? You have turban, beard, you don't know Punjabi?" And he was getting angrier and angrier. How can I not know Punjabi? And I'm thinking to myself, I never learned it. I just know I could call him sister fucker or mother fucker. I call him that, but I think I was too scared. I was really skinny. And then after that, and then he asked me, he goes, "Toranaki." I didn't know what he was saying again. He was getting more and more and more angry. And I said, what he was asking is, what's my name? I said, my name's Raymond. And at that point, he went berserk. What is your real name? You must have a real name. Because to him, any Punjabi Sikh wearing a turban should have an Indian name, a Sikh name. And so he's shouting and shouting at me, "What is your real name? What is your real name?" And I go, it's Raymond. And he went crazy.